Predators need to eat, and they'll do just about anything in order to secure the meal. Do you know the uniquely gruesome way a golden eagle hunts? Did you know ants are far more vicious than they seem? Cure your morbid curiosity and stay tuned to see 15 horrific ways animals kill their prey. Number 15. Crocodile. Zebras cross the water in this clip. This can be a dangerous activity for prey, so many are cautious. In the water lurks a hungry crocodile. The crocodile patiently waits for a weak zebra to cross. One unlucky zebra tries to avoid the crocodile, but instead jumps right into its mouth. The crocodile pulls it away and begins to eat it alive. In a horrific scene, it rips the zebra's face off as the zebra still continues to fight. This is going to be a satisfying meal for this croc. There's something in the waters in this clip, and it is huge. These impalas are going for a drink when a gigantic crocodile comes out and grabs one of the poor animals. The crocodile snaps up its frail body in its vice-like mouth and drags it into the water, where it disappears with this new meal under the surface. Another crossing means another hunt for a crocodile. This crocodile watches as zebras and wildebeest cross. It chooses to go for a young wildebeest and plucks it from its cross, crushing it in its mouth. It tosses it around a bit as more crocs come and join in on the frenzy. The young wildebeest is completely obliterated at this point. Number 14. Orca. Orcas, as you may know, are also known as killer whales. The latter may make more sense as you see in this clip, they are not afraid to go in for the kill. This group of orcas found a gray whale. The orca's agility and speed is far superior to that of the whale, and they take advantage of this, slamming into it, biting chunks out of it as the blood spills into the ocean. You see the gray whale begin to lose the battle until it eventually dies. Orcas are good at hunting, and as seen in the previous clip, they aren't afraid to hunt other whales. This orca hunted a humpback calf and grabs it in its mouth. An orca's mouth holds cone-shaped teeth used to rip prey apart, so that means this calf is done for. The other orcas gather around and enjoy the tongue of this calf while they leave the rest of its carcass alone in the deep blue sea. Orcas sure are brutal. These orcas are hunting and attacking a sea lion, and the way they do it is absolutely horrific. They will swim around, picking up speed from the depths below before ramming into the sea lion like a torpedo. Multiple attacks of this severity leave the sea lion critically injured, leading to a far less threatening meal for the orcas. Number 13. Golden Eagle. Golden eagles are strong. That word is not to be used lightly. Look at how this golden eagle is able to swoop down and easily pick up a goat. It dives and soars all while the goat hangs from this eagle's talons. The golden eagle is able to bring it into its nest, but you can later see another golden eagle grabbing a goat and dropping it off the cliff. It flies down and follows the goat, who has now been tumbled and tossed, ready to be the golden eagle's next meal. Golden eagles are incredible birds. As you may assume from their name, they can be excellent hunters, as eagles usually are. This type of eagle is able to spot prey moving at incredibly fast speeds through many different terrains. These hares are running through a valley at speeds that would make them hard to see. But golden eagles have incredible senses and can use their sharp vision to watch over the hares from high up above. This golden eagle goes in for the kill and swoops down, wings spread, and grabs the hare with its talons. This clip really shows off just how big these eagles can be. These birds are such excellent and swift hunters that some people bring them along on their own hunting trips. Golden eagles are able to hunt medium-sized prey, such as the deer in this clip. Look at how fast this one dives down to catch this sprinting deer. It spreads its wings not only to intimidate the deer, but also to help capture it. This hunter was especially happy to share the catch with this helpful golden eagle. Number 12. Komodo dragon. Komodo dragons can be easily overlooked. They appear to be slow and calm creatures, but in this clip, you can see just how fast these lizards can run. This one is hunting a goat, and it hides in a bushy area until the perfect moment to strike. It's difficult to tell when these animals want to attack, as they do it without warning. Once this one catches its prey, it starts eating it head first. This clip shows us another example of how strong a Komodo dragon can be. Watch as this one digs into this wild boar like he's paid to do so. This lizard sticks its face into the dead and twitchy boar's open stomach and inspects it a bit. It uses its snake-like tongue to detect smells and gather more information on what it's getting into. This helps the Komodo dragon stay away from predators or anything else potentially harmful. Once everything is all clear, the Komodo dragon starts digging in. It rips apart this boar's internal organs with unexpected strength. A Komodo dragon is very talented when it comes to killing. They pin and bite their prey to prevent them from moving. Here, you can see this Komodo dragon has a strong grip on this poor monkey. It bites down hard, not allowing the monkey to move much. It continues this agonizing technique for a while until the monkey is dead. Then, it's time to eat. And Komodo dragons love to eat their prey in big chunks. Right down the hatch with this one. Number 11. Chimpanzee. Chimpanzees aren't as gentle as they may look. They can kill in an instant, and it can be extremely brutal yet nonchalant. This chimpanzee has gotten a hold of a squirrel. It squishes it and begins tossing it around. It even hits its head against the floor. It almost seems as if the chimp thinks this squirrel is just another toy. These chimps welcome a visiting raccoon in the most horrific way possible. They chase it and toss it around the enclosure. When the raccoon thinks it has found an escape, the chimpanzees think otherwise and continue to harass the scared critter. The innate violence in these chimps starts to shine through in these actions. The chimp in this clip seems to love having an audience. It finds a squirrel and kills it. It then shows it off to everyone watching at this zoo. It handles it with a deadly grip, showing that it knows it can kill an animal like this. Squirrels might want to start avoiding chimpanzees more often. Number 10. Wolf. Wolves are some of the best pack hunters in the wild, and it's no wonder many animals fear them, including huge bison. This pack decides to chase down a herd of bison in the snow. The task may seem large, but these wolves have a great strategy. They separate the weaker and slower bison from the herd and focus on them. And once they're able to bring one down, they immediately start mauling it. They eat this bison alive, a slow and bloody process. These two wolves help us to see how wolves can utilize their speed to chase their prey. They chase a lone rabbit through the snow. One of the wolves takes long and graceful leaps as the rabbit hops across the land. The closer it gets, the smaller the steps. Eventually, this wolf is able to catch up to the rabbit and sinks its teeth into it, immediately thrashing it around. Wolves waste no time when it comes to killing. They want to get the job done now. To get a closer look at how wolves are able to kill their prey, let's watch this pack hunt a hare. A hare is able to travel up to 60 kilometers per hour, and the strongest wolves will be in the front to keep up the pace. Other wolves in the pack will remain off to the side to ensure that the hare cannot make a sudden change of direction without facing deadly consequences. Once this hare fails to escape, it gets shredded up and split amongst a large pack of wolves as a small snack. Number 9. Goliath bird-eating spider. For all the arachnophobes out there, how big can you imagine a spider to get? This is the Goliath bird-eating spider, and it can grow to be nearly a foot wide. You can see it here consuming a freshly caught mouse. The way that it eats is by regurgitating digestive fluids onto the prey, melting down the tissue, then they suck it all up. Talk about a messy meal. These spiders are pretty handsy, considering the fact that they've got 8 legs, enabling them to get a good grip on the animals they eat. You may be curious about their terrifying name, and yes, they can eat birds, but most of these huge spiders just go for easier prey such as lizards and mice. This one here is hunting a nearby gecko. Watch as it stalks it slowly, then stops to wait for the perfect time. When the prey isn't ready, this Goliath bird eater dives in and sinks its fangs into the lizard. Using its front legs, it scoops up and holds the gecko, making its escape impossible. The Goliath bird eater is an excellent hunter. Watch as this one is able to hide and wait patiently for the mouse to come closer. The mouse is curious and inspects the surroundings, seeming not to notice the spider hidden in plain sight. When the mouse gets close enough, the bird eater jumps into action and bites into the mouse. It decides this is a meal best savored properly and takes it into its dark burrow. Number 8. African Wild Dog. African wild dogs may be dogs, but they sure aren't the Fido we're used to. These wild dogs are vicious and will hunt just about anything they can get their paws on. In this clip, we see 2 African wild dogs attacking an animal called a puku. At first, it tries to escape, but one of the dogs tugs on it hard, preventing it from running away. The more these dogs bite down, the less the puku struggles. These wild dogs begin to tear the puku apart while it is still alive and slightly struggling. It is quite a gruesome sight to see the puku's guts beginning to pour out as it still remains standing and breathing. Wild dogs love to hunt in packs, as it gives them an advantage since they aren't the biggest or strongest animal. This is seen here, where a pack of African wild dogs surrounds a buffalo with a large growth underneath it. Wild dogs are extremely vicious and will eat pretty much any of their prey alive. Talk about a steak served rare. These dogs go for the growth on this buffalo and blood begins to spill everywhere. The buffalo eventually falls and gives up, and that's when all the dogs begin to gather and start on their large shared meal. In this next horrifying clip, a couple of wild dogs seem to be digging through the dirt for something. One of the dogs comes up with a hare, and the other dogs go crazy. They all grab a piece of it, some of them whimpering in excitement. African wild dogs have sharp teeth meant to shred apart their prey, and here we see them doing exactly that, tearing this hare apart. The body snaps in half with little effort, and the wild dogs attempt to share their new snack excitedly. Number 7. Great White Shark. Great white sharks are feared for a reason. These animals are killing machines. Once they take a bite, it can be game over. They're not even afraid to kill humans, and that's what makes them such gruesome predators. Here, a seal swims around frantically underwater. A great white shark spots the commotion and grows hungry. This seal makes it more challenging by swimming around quickly and erratically, but the shark accepts the challenge. It follows the seal, and as the seal comes near the surface, the great white jumps out of the water and captures the entire seal in its death trap of a mouth. Great white sharks will go into a feeding frenzy once they smell blood. This means they'll eat anything in their way and become extremely crazed and violent. In this clip, a great white has captured a dolphin and is destroying it right near the shore. It stains the water red as the dolphin's blood spills out and gets mixed in a slurry created by the excited shark. How brutal is this scene? This next clip shows us a great white shark hunting through a group of seals. The seals try to swim away, but this only makes the great white more committed. Great white sharks are sensitive to electric fields. This allows them to detect the movement of muscles and even heartbeats. With this, the shark is basically a superhero underwater, or more like a supervillain, because look at how violently this shark leaps out of the water and grabs a seal. It begins eating it immediately, no time like the present. Number 6. Scorpion. Scorpions are feared, but they are still underestimated because of their size. This clip may change your mind, because if you know how deadly black widow spiders can be, you'll be shocked to see a scorpion picking a fight with one. This scorpion observes a nearby black widow and waits patiently. When the black widow gets closer, the scorpion tries to hit it a bit. When it is close enough, the scorpion grabs it and begins stinging it. Once the spider seems to no longer be able to take it, the scorpion begins to bite down on it, all with no difficulty. Scorpions aren't as fast or frenzied as some other predators. In fact, they may be considered by some to be quite chill. This scorpion watches a mouse walk around for a bit. Then, using one of its pincers, it grabs the mouse's tail. It holds on and lets the mouse struggle for a while. When the mouse becomes free again, it doesn't last. The scorpion grabs its face this time and squeezes down hard. This scorpion's grip is incredibly tight, so this mouse sure isn't going anywhere anytime soon. A scorpion can be so calm and unsuspecting that other creatures may not even worry about them until it's too late. This praying mantis stepped up onto a scorpion to catch some bugs nearby. The scorpion refused to be used as a stepping stool and attacked the praying mantis. The mantis was not expecting this, so it was unable to even try and fight back. Goes to show, never walk all over a scorpion. Number 5. Anaconda. Snakes can be a problem for livestock. Some, however, may just be more of a nuisance than a life-threatening issue. But if you got an anaconda around your animals, you're in trouble. This anaconda has sunk its fangs into an innocent cow. The cow panics and runs, but the grip that the anaconda's mouth has on the cow's leg is too strong. Thankfully, it seems the farmer is there to eventually stop all of this commotion. Anacondas do not discriminate. No matter the size of their prey, they are willing to attack and consume just about anything. This anaconda found a capybara. This kill is easy enough. It just needs to squeeze the life out of the rodent. It will constrict until the prey is no longer able to breathe or move. This may also break bones in the process, essentially crushing the animal to death. Once this is over, the anaconda moves on to consumption. It will look for the best piece to start on, then unhinge its jaw. It may be a slow process, but it's worth it. When you watch an anaconda eat, you may wince a bit. Look at this anaconda eating a pig. The pig is much wider than the anaconda, yet it is able to eat it anyway. This snake has a ligament at the front of its jaw that can stretch as the jaw spreads, allowing the prey to slide into its mouth without causing any harm to the anaconda. At least we know this anaconda isn't biting off more than it can chew. Number 4. Polar bear. Polar bears may look cuddly, but they can be deadly predators. They can even resort to cannibalism if they so please. This male polar bear chases down a cub, much to the dismay of the cub's mother, who follows closely behind. The male polar bear outruns the mother, capturing the cub in a pool of water. He begins to kill it in front of the mother polar bear. It truly is a cold world out there. Polar bears are strong and able to carry out tiring hunts. This polar bear is swimming in the frigid waters, carrying a bearded seal in its mouth. It pulls it right onto a sheet of ice, dragging blood across the otherwise clean white surface. The polar bear takes a minute before it starts the arduous task of ripping the seal apart and eating it. You can tell by the subtle clawing that this polar bear just had one big hunt. This polar bear may be big, but it is also agile. A seal lounges atop a chunk of ice when a polar bear spots it from behind. The polar bear quickly jumps onto the ice and attacks the seal, taking things into the water. When the seal dies, it's time to eat. No need to heat up this meal. Number 3. Hyena. Hyenas are quite the adventurous animal. They aren't that big, but they sure act like they are. This hyena found a wildebeest and decided to attack. Here, you can see the hyena biting at the wildebeest, blood covering both animals. The hyena has already begun eating, but the wildebeest is still alive. The wildebeest tries to move, but the pain and injuries are too much to handle. There's no fresher meal than this. Hyenas are practically like bullies. They will gang up on the weaker animals to take them down. These hyenas found an antelope in its herd and were able to grab it and separate it. They use their combined strength to keep the antelope in place as they bite down and kill it. Then, all that's left is to eat it. This hyena has found a young impala to eat. The only issue is, the hyena is too impatient to try and kill it first. It goes ahead and starts eating it alive. This hyena is working alone, so it needs to put a bit more effort into this meal. Unfortunately, meaning more slow suffering for the poor impala. Number 2. Python. Pythons can be huge snakes, but that doesn't mean they can't be sneaky. This python was waiting for the perfect moment to strike. It waited in the water as a couple of deer went for a drink. When one of the deer came close, the python leaped out like a crocodile and instantly struck the deer. It continued on and constricted the deer right there in the water it was drinking. Pythons are excellent killers. This python manages to latch onto an antelope. Watch its technique when it comes to killing. The python wraps itself around the antelope as it struggles. The more the antelope moves, the tighter the python constricts. This leaves the antelope no choice but to succumb to this horrific killing. This deer is being killed by a python. When a python goes in for a kill, their prey is almost always alive. Before they can start eating, it's a long process of constriction, as you can see in this clip. That means this deer will have to feel every minute of this pain until it's lights out. What a cruel way of killing. Number 1. Ants. Ants may be a mere annoyance to many, a simple and short-lived bite, but to some animals, they are predators to be feared. Look at the ants in this clip. They begin to swarm around a scorpion. The scorpion tries its best to fight back, but multiple bites from these ants can be agonizing to prey. The ants all gang up and immobilize the scorpion. It no longer fights back. The ants have won this battle. Ants really prove that there is power in numbers. These ants find a slug that looks good enough to eat, so they eat it. The ants cover the slug completely. The new coat of ants makes it virtually impossible to move. The ants start to eat and dice the gooey creature as a group. One thing to know about ants is that they have incredible strength. They can hold several times their own weight, so a group of hundreds or even thousands of ants are basically unstoppable. This swarm gangs up on a praying mantis and begins to tear it apart. We really should not underestimate these tiny guys. While you're here, go ahead and click one of these 2 videos on your screen. We'll see you there.